Very good morning, students. In the previous class, we have discussed about the transport of water and what are all the important pressures are useful for the transport of water. And in today's class, we are going to discuss from the root how the water is transported. In the previous class, we have discussed from the soil how the water is entered into the root with the help of various pressure. In today's class, we are going to learn how the water from the root is entered into the various parts of the plant. That only we are going to learn. Okay. One of the important mechanisms seen in the plant in the movement of the water from the root to the various parts of the plant, which is called as the ascent of sap. Ascent of sap. So, the ascent of sap is the mechanism which is present in the plant to move the water from the region of the root to the various parts of the plant or in the upward direction of the plant. This particular mechanism only called as the ascent of sap. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of the sap? What is the meaning of the ascent? Let me explain. The sap means some of the water which is present in the xylem of the root region. Some of the water which has been absorbed from the soil will be in the region of the root, especially in the xylem element. That amount of water is called as the sap. Okay. So, the amount of water present in the xylem of the root or the tip of the root, that particular water which is called as the sap. And ascent means the movement of the water in the ascending direction or in the upward direction. That is only called as the ascent of sap. Okay. Now we are going to learn an experiment to prove the ascent of sap. An experiment to prove how the ascent of sap takes place. Okay. Usually, the ascent of sap takes place with the help of the xylem. We know very well the vascular tissue system, which is including the xylem and phloem. Both are only involved in the transport of the water as well as the food. But some of the scientists are confused whether the ascent of sap takes place through the xylem or phloem. That is a question mark. That's why they did this experiment. The ascent of sap experiment, they did it on the one important plant called the balsam plant. What is the name of the plant? The balsam plant. Let me explain the experiment, and at the end of the experiment I tell the conclusion whether the water is moved through the xylem or phloem. Okay. Let us go to the experiment. So for this experiment, first we have to take the balsam plant. Okay, we have to take the balsam plant. First we have to take the balsam plant. Then the particular plant should be kept in the beaker of water. The plant is kept in the beaker of water. Then the particular water will be added with the eosin stain. Eosin stains are red in color. Okay, so the eosin stain Just that's why I am drawing with the help of the red marker. Okay, so the water is added with the eosin dye or eosin solution. So the water is turns into red in color. Now, before the experiment, I would like to tell you why they are selecting this balsam plant. Because the stem of the balsam plant is highly transparent. So we can easily look at the color change when the plant is transfer the water from the lower part to the upper part. That's why we are selecting the balsam plant. Okay, let's go to the experiment. After few minutes we can find the stem of the balsam plants are turns into red color. The stem of the balsam plants which turns into red color, which indicate that transport of water has been taking place. Water transport has been taking place. But now what we have to prove? Whether the water transport takes place through the xylem or phloem. For that, what we have to do? We have to take the plant from the water, then take the TS of the stem, transverse section, TS of the stem. When we take the TS of the stem, this is a TS, transverse section of the stem. You can see the xylem region. The xylem region only turns into red color. Which region will turns into red color? The xylem region only turns into red color, which indicate the transfer of water takes place through the xylem only. The transfer of water takes place through the xylem only, because when we take the transfer section, the particular red color regions are called as the xylem. It means only through the xylem only the transport of water has been takes place. So from this experiment, it is concluded that the transport of water, especially the ascent of sap, takes place with the help of the xylem, with the help of the xylem element. So that is a proof of the ascent of sap. And now we are move on to the mechanism of ascent of sap. Okay, we are moving into the mechanism of ascent of sap. We knew that the xylem is responsible for the transfer of the water, but what are all the mechanisms are present in the transport of water by the ascent of sap? That mechanism of ascent of sap is explained by various theories. Various theories are explained the mechanism of ascent of sap. That only we are going to discuss now. Okay. Now we are going to learn what are the different theories. What are the different theories are explained the mechanism of ascent of sap. Okay. There are three important theories are explained the mechanism of ascent of sap. Let me write the names of the theory. The first theory. So the theories of ascent of sap. The first theory, which is called as the vital force theory. Vital force theory. The second theory, which is called as the root pressure theory. Root pressure theory. And the last theory, which is most acceptable theory. The most acceptable theory, that is a physical force theory. So we are going to learn about these three important theories, very important for your examinations. Okay, let's learn one by one. What is vital force theory, what is root pressure theory, and what is physical force theory, one by one. Okay, let us move on to the first theory. the vital force theory. Let's discuss about the first theory, the vital force theory. This vital force theory is explained by the another two theory. The vital force theories are explained by two more theories. The first theory, which is called as the relay pump theory. Relay pump theory. And the second one, which is called as the pulsation theory. Pulsation theory. So the vital force theory is explained by another two types of theory. One is the relay pump theory, another one is pulsation theory. Let us learn what is relay pump theory and pulsation theory. The first theory called the relay pump theory. In this theory, what they are telling, two important elements of the xylem. One is xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma and xylem parenchyma and medullary rays. These are the two important elements of the xylem. These xylem parenchyma and medullary rays, which is act like a pump. Which is act like a pump. What is the use of the motor pump? They will they will take the water, extract the water from the ground, isn't it? Like that way, in this theory, what they are telling in the relay pump theory, the xylem parenchyma and medullary ray both are act as a pump, and they are taking the water from the root and they transfer the water to the various parts of the plant. So this is only called as the relay pump theory. But how these two elements like xylem parenchyma and medullary rays act as a pump? Because there is a changes in the osmotic pressure. We already discussed about the osmotic pressure, isn't it? So changes in the osmotic pressure, especially in this xylem parenchyma and medullary ray, leads to acting like a pump and taking the water from the root and transfer into the various parts of the plant. So this theory is only called as the vital theory. Now, hope you all understood about the vital theory or relay pump theory. Vital theory la varakuriya first theory da vandunadhu in the relay pump theory. Now, move on to the second theory of vital force theory. I told you the name of the theory, which is called as the pulsation theory. Pulsation theory. This theory was explained by the scientist J.C. Bose. The name of the scientist who explained this particular theory is called the J.C. Bose. He made a device. Called Crescograph. நல்லா கவனிங்க. Crescograph. The name of the instrument, Crescograph. Okay. The Crescograph, let me explain the parts of the Crescograph first. It is having the two electrodes. It is having the true electrode and two probes. What he did, the two electrodes are connected with the stem of the plant, especially in the cortex. If you take the cross section of the plant, the first part, which is called the epidermis, isn't it? Followed by the epidermis, there is the presence of the cortical cells. Yeah. So what the J.C. Bose did, he inserted the electrodes inside the cortex of the plant, and then the particular probe will be connected into the galvanometer. These two probes are connected with the galvanometer. After some time, he found that the galvanometer, the meter is started to work and it is started to move, because if he is telling that particular cortex cell there is some pulsation. In the cortical cells, he forms some pulsation. That pulsation only taking the water from the root. From the root only the water will be absorbed, then it is entered into the cortex. One cortex cells to another cortex to another one. So the water will move through all the cortical cell with the help of the pulsation. That pulsation will be converted by the crescograph into electric current. That's why the galvanometer is started to show the reading of the electric current on the because the cortical cells are produce the pulsation. That pulsation will be converted into electrical current and it will show the movement of the galvanometer. So from this experiment, J.C. Bose is explained the cortical cells have the ability to produce the pulsation. By the pulsation, water from the root will be entered into cortical cell one by one, and finally it will be reach the xylem. Finally it is reached the xylem. From the xylem, the water is transported to the various parts of the plant. So this is the experiment of the J.C. Bose. So according to the J.C. Bose, which part of the plant is responsible for movement of the water? The cortical cell. Because the cortical cells are produce the pulsative movement, that movement leads to transfer of water from the root to the xylem, and from the xylem the water is entered into the various parts of the plant. So this is about the J.C. Bose experiment. So these two theories, the relay pump theory and pulsation theories, are the two important theory which is comes under the vital force theory. உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Okay, now even though this theory is explained very well explained about the movement of water, there are some opposition regarding this theory. நிறைய பேர் வந்து இதை அக்செப்ட் பண்ணல இந்த theory because of the two reason. By the two reason, these vital force theories are rejected. What is the two reason? Number one, according to the relay pump theory, the xylem and medullary rays are involved in the transfer of water by changing in the osmotic pressure. But scientists are found even the dead cells of the plant can also transfer the water. But what the relay pump theory is telling, the living cell xylem parenchyma and medullary rays are responsible for transport the water. But according to other researchers, they found even the dead cells can also transmit the water from the region of the root to the various parts of the body. அது எப்படி வந்து அவங்க செஞ்சாங்க அப்படின்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த அப்போசிங் டீம் இருந்தாங்களா, அவங்க என்ன செஞ்சாங்கன்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் they take the wood of the oak tree. ஓல்டு ஓக் ட்ரீ உடைய wood வந்து என்ன பண்றாங்க, ஸ்டெம் வந்து எடுத்துக்கறாங்க. Then the stem is immersed in the picric acid. Why they are immersed the oak tree wood into the picric acid? Because the picric acids are kills the living cells. So what is happening when the oak tree part of stem is immersed in the picric acid, the cells of the oak tree is died. Now we can say the oak tree stem is containing the dead cells. Now what they did, the dead celled stems are immersed in the water. Even though the cells of the oak trees are killed by the picric acid, they are found there is a transport of the water. So from this experiment they are telling the dead cell also can transport the water. Then how you can say the xylem and the other elements only responsible for transport of water? It is wrong. Even the dead cells can also transport the water from the region of the root to the various parts of the body. So this is one of the experiment that oppose the vital force theory. So this is the first opposing point. And another point they are telling, in the vital force theory they are telling the movement of the water. The movement of the water in the movement of the water in the particular cortex cell in the lateral side. In the lateral direction தான் வந்து மூவ் ஆச்சுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. யாரு? The particular vital force theory. But according to this opposing people, what they are telling, the movement of the water should be vertical. என்ன directionல இருக்கணுமா? Vertical directionல இருக்கணுமா, not by the lateral direction. So here they are giving problem. Vital force theory என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் பண்ணாங்க? They are not give the exact direction in the way the water is moved, whether in the vertical direction or in the lateral direction, but they are telling through the lateral direction only water is moved. But according to that particular opposing people, they are telling the water should be moved in the enna order, vertical order, then only the water can be moved. So that's why this point also one of the opposing point against the vital force theory. So some people are accepted vital theory, some people are not, even though many people are not accept the vital force theory. So that is the first theory, vital force theories. And now we move on to the second theory, that is the root pressure theory. Root pressure theory. Let's move on to the root pressure theory. The root pressure theory was given by the name of the scientist called the Stephen Hallis. Stephen Hallis, the name of the scientist who has given this particular root pressure theory. So according to the root pressure theory, what he is telling, so just imagine this is a soil and the stem which is followed by the root. Okay, what he did, he take a small section above the ground, மேல இங்க இருந்து மேல வரைக்கும் எடுத்து ஒரு cross ஒரு part of the root has been removed. அப்போ வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இது மட்டும் தான் இருக்கும் இல்லையா, இங்க வந்து root இருக்கும். Now he found the water is started to coming from the cutted edges of the stem. He found the water is started to coming out of the cutted edges of the stem, and he is telling that the root pressure only responsible for the coming out of water. What he is telling, the root pressure which is created in the root only responsible for taking the water and it is coming out of the cutted edges. So from this experiment only he proposed the root pressure theory. But there are many people are not accepted the root pressure theory by the following points. The following points what I am going to explain is telling why the root pressure theories are not accepted. Number one, it is a simple theory, no? Root pressure theory is a simple theory. He is simply telling that root is create some pressure and it is taking the water from the soil and it is going to the various parts of the plant. But many people are not accepted because number one, in the reason மட்டும் உங்களுக்கு 3 மார்க்ல கேட்கலாம். What are all the opposition of the root pressure theory? Number one, in case of gymnosperm, the peoples are found root pressure is not found. Root pressure கிடையாது எதுல? In case of the gymnosperm, there is no root pressure. Even though there is no root pressure, how the water can be moved to the topmost part of the plant from the lower part to the topmost part of the plant? That is a question mark. It means the root pressure is not required for the movement of the water. So what is the first opposing point? In the gymnosperm there is no root pressure. Then how the water can be moved from the lower part to the upper part of the plant? That's why they are not accept the root pressure theory. That is the first point. Number two, the second point is a very important point. Why they are not accept the root pressure theory? Listen carefully. Usually, according to the opposing peoples, they are telling there is no connection between the ascent of sap and root pressure theory. ascent of sapக்கும் root pressure theoryக்கும் எந்த ஒரு சம்பந்தமும் கிடையாது. Because they are telling the ascent of sap takes place by the transpiration. What they are telling? By the transpiration only, the ascent of sap takes place. There is no involvement of the root pressure theory. How they are telling? They are found the transpiration is very high in the summer. During the summer, that time also water is moved. Water is moved with the help of the transpiration. In the winter season, the level of the transpiration is become reduced, so the movement of the water is reduced. In the summer season, what happened? Due to the high transpiration, water is fastly moving from the root to the various parts of the body. I will explain about the transpiration, how they involved in the taking the water. அதுக்கு ஒரு தனி theory இருக்கு, transpiration pull theory. But here what I am telling, the particular peoples are taking the they are telling the transpiration is responsible for the transport of the water from the soil to the various parts of the plant. The transpiration during the summer season is very high. That time transport of water is more. In the winter, the transport of water is low. Now they are asking question. In the winter season, the transport of the water is low. Even though root pressure is present in the particular plant, why the water is not moving fast in the winter season? They are asking question. In the summer season, due to the high transpiration, the water transport is very high. In the winter season, the water transport is very low due to the less transpiration. Then they are asking the particular person, if the root pressure is present, the same amount of water should be moved in the any season. Why the movement of the water is changed according to the season? That's why the particular Stephen Harris cannot explain, they cannot give the reply for this question. That's why there is a failure of the root pressure theory. This is the second opposing point by the particular people who are not accepted the root pressure theory. So in the gymnosperm there is no root pressure, even though they can transport the water from the root to the various parts of the plant. And the second point, only transpiration is responsible for the transport of the water. There is no involvement of the root pressure theory. Now the last point, the third point. Okay, they are telling we are accepted root pressure is involved in the transport of the water. Even though the root pressure is involved in the transport of water, they can transport the water for few inches or few feet வரைக்கும் தான் செய்ய முடியும், அந்த வாட்டர் வந்து டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ண முடியும் with the help of the root pressure. But in case of the plant, there are tallest plant, ரொம்ப ஹைட்டா இருக்கக்கூடிய பிளான்ட்ஸ்ல எப்படி ரூட் பிரஷர் அப்ளிகபிள் ஆகும்? They are accepting root pressure may be the reason for transport the water from the soil with the help of the root. But even though it takes place only for few feet, only the water can be moved with the help of the root pressure. But how the water can reach the very tallest plant? How they can reach the tallest part of the upper part of the plant? That is a question mark. So that also cannot explain by the particular Stephen Harris. That's why there is a failure of the root pressure theory. So finally the root pressure theory also not accepted by the people. And finally the last theory which has explained the ascent of sap, and still the peoples are believing this theory only. The name of the theory which is called as the third theory, physical force theory. Physical force theory. In the physical force theory, they are explained clearly how the movement of water has been takes place from the root to the various parts of the plant. Okay. Let me explain the physical force theory. Okay. The physical force theory is explained by the two groups of theory. Number one, cohesion and adhesion, cohesion, tension theory. First, let me explain what is the cohesion theory, and we will learn about the tension theory. The tension theory is otherwise called as the transpiration pull theory. Transpiration pull theory. Okay, let me explain what is the cohesion theory. So let me explain what is the cohesion theory. Cohesion means, you know very well, the water is made by the molecules. Many number of water molecules are joined together form the water, isn't it? So according to the cohesion, தனியா உங்களுக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன் so that you can easily understand. Okay. So cohesion. Actually, the cohesion takes place in the xylem vessel. Here I am draw the xylem vessel. So cohesion means the mutual attraction between the water molecule. Here I draw the molecules of the water. You can see the water molecules are mutually attract each other, isn't it? That mutual attraction between the water molecule is called as the cohesion. Okay. So during the transport of the water, what is happening? There is the presence of the xylem and the xylem vessels. Yeah. So what is happening when the water is started to move into the xylem? First, by the process of the cohesion, the water molecules are joined together by the cohesion. After the cohesion, the joined water molecules are started to attach. It is started to attach at the walls of the xylem vessel. That attachment is called as the adhesion. Adhesion ஒட்டுறது, which is started to attach with the xylem vessel. Due to the cohesion, the water molecules are joined together by the force. Then by the adhesion, the water molecules are attached at the walls of the xylem vessel. So it takes place continuously into cell by cell. ஒவ்வொரு செல்லும் இதே மாதிரி நடந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். போகும்போது by these two pressures, by these two reaction, cohesion and adhesion, the water molecules are continuously move into the xylem vessel. They are just explaining how the water is moved into the xylem, but it is not simply move by the cohesion and adhesion. The water molecules are moved continuously in the xylem vessel, and finally it is reached the various parts of the body. Okay, so this theory only called as the cohesion theory. Understand? Cohesion theory means what? The mutual attraction between the water molecules are joined first, then the joined water molecules are go and attach with the walls of the vessels of the xylem. Then this movement takes place continuously one by one on each cells of the xylem. Finally, the water is moved continuously into the xylem and reach the various parts of the plant. This particular theory only called as the cohesion theory. Understand? Now, இன்னும் நம்ம tension theory பத்தி பார்க்கல. Before we go to the tension theory, another thing they are explained. How the water is moved. Cohesion பத்தி நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ரெண்டாவது வந்து அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா continuity, ஹெட்டிங் பாத்துங்க பாருங்க, continuity of the water column. Continuity of the water column. Where the continuity of water column takes place, same xylem vessels. Same the xylem vessel. What here they are telling in the continuity of the water column explanation, there is a formation of air bubble. அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்க, when the water is moved from the root, when the water is entered into the xylem, there is a formation of the water bubbles. These water bubbles are taking the water into the all the parts of the plant. இந்த water bubbles வந்து அப்படியே expand ஆகும். Water bubbles வந்து form ஆன உடனே it will start to expand. That the expansion of the water bubble leads to the continuous flow of the water into the xylem vessel. So they are explaining about the role of the water bubble formation in the xylem vessel. So the water bubble expansion also one of the reason for the continuous flow of the water into the xylem vessel. That only they are explaining in the continuity of the water column. And finally, so we have completed the cohesion and the tension. I already told you the tension is explained about the transpiration pull. அத மட்டும் நம்ம தனியா எழுதிக்கலாம். Transpiration pull. So here the tension. We already discussed about the cohesion, இல்லையா? So tension is about the transpiration pull. Transpiration pull. You know very well about the transpiration, isn't it? Transpiration means what? The removal of the excess of water from the plant in the form of vapor. That is only called the transpiration. But here in the tension theory, what they are telling, the transpiration is create a pull. Pull na ilukuradhu illaya. The transpiration is create a pull. That pull, as a result of the transpiration pull, the water is taken from the root or extracted from the root and it is reached the various parts of the plant. That's why they are telling the transpiration pull is one of the reason for the ascent of sap, movement of the water from the region of root to the various parts of the plant. So this is about the tension theory. The tension theory is explained with the help of the transpiration pull theory. So finally we have completed the three different types of theory regarding the ascent of sap: vital force theory, root pressure theory, and finally we have discussed the cohesion and adhesion theory. That is what? That is comes under the enna theory? Physical force theory. That is comes under the physical force theory. So according to the physical force theory, what they are telling, the living cells are not responsible for the transport of water. Only the physical force only responsible for the transport of water. Adha வந்து அவங்க எதை வச்சு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணாங்க? Cohesion and adhesion and tension theory. That is transpiration pull theory. So that's all about the theories regarding the ascent of sap. Hope you all understand about the concept of the ascent of sap and the various theories regarding the ascent of sap. So that's all about the today's class. Hope the class is useful for you. உங்க எல்லாருக்கும் நல்லா இன்ட்ரஸ்டா புரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So we will meet in the next class with a new topic. இன்னைக்கு நடத்துனத வந்து என்ன பண்ணுங்க, நல்லா படிங்க. See you all with a new topic in the next class. Thank you.